Remember, tomorrow there is a crucial hearing in the Supreme Court. Today, the Mahagathbandhan parties of Bihar held a statewide protest. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and RJD's Tejashwi Yadav led a rally against the Election Commission of India's special intensive revision exercise ahead of the Bihar elections. The elections in Bihar are scheduled for some time in end of October and beginning of November. This was Congress MP Rahul Gandhi's 7th visit to Bihar in the last 5 months. The parties have alleged that the Election Commission of India's vote list revision process is biased and anti-people. The Grand Alliance is actually saying that this entire process could deprive migrants, Dalits, Mahadalits and poor voters of their rights. They have called the ECI's move a conspiracy to block votes ahead of the Bihar elections. Remember, the ECI began this entire exercise, which is called SIR or Special Intensive Revision in Bihar, on June 24th, and has made it mandatory for voters to fill out forms and submit any of the 11 specified documents as identity proof. Today, the Election Commission also said that nearly 60% of the special intensive revision exercise is complete, adding that it is aiming to complete the remaining 40% in the next 16 days. First up, let's listen in to what various leaders from Rahul Gandhi to Tejashwi and also Ravi Shankar Prasad, who's a member of parliament of the BJP, have to say, and then I bring in the guests.
जिन जिन कंस्टिट्यूएंसीज में वोटर बढ़े वहां पर बीजेपी जीती। सारे के सारे वोट जो नए वोट आए वो सारे के सारे बीजेपी को गए। आज तक महाराष्ट्र की वोटर लिस्ट हमें नहीं मिली। वीडियोग्राफी का कानून बदल दिया क्योंकि वो सच्चाई छुपाना चाहते हैं। महाराष्ट्र का चुनाव चोरी किया गया था और जैसे महाराष्ट्र का चुनाव चोरी किया गया था वैसे ही बिहार का चुनाव चोरी करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। इलेक्शन कमिश्नर बीजेपी और आरएसएस जैसे बात कर रहे हैं, वो भूल गए हैं कि वो किसी राजनीतिक पार्टी के नहीं है।
पूरे बिहार के लोगों में नाराजगी है इलेक्शन कमीशन को लेके। खास तौर पे इलेक्शन कमीशन जो है अब एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का प्रकोष्ठ बन करके रह गया है। उसके इशारे पे ही सारा फैसला निर्णय जो है लिया जाता है। तो कोई भी सवाल का जवाब जो है इलेक्शन कमीशन ने हम लोगों को दिया नहीं, ना एक बार भी आके प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके सभी चीज़ों को जो है स्पष्ट किया। 2 गुजरात के लोग तय करेंगे कौन बिहारी वोटर वोट देगा कौन नहीं देगा।
सच्चाई नहीं है क्या कि बहुत बार चाहे वो रोहिंग्या हो कोई और हो, वो गलत तरीके से वोटर लिस्ट में अपना नाम घुसवा लेते हैं। तो अगर ईमानदारी से काम हो रहा है तो परेशानी क्या है आपको? संकेत यही है कि जो भी गलत तरीके से वोटर बन गया उसके कंधों पर ये अपनी सियासत करना चाहते हैं। दिस होल अप्रोच ऑफ द अपोजिशन पार्टी गिव्स राइज टू सीरियस क्वेश्चंस। You file cases in Supreme Court, MPs file, your supporters file, you get the case mentioned. I understand tomorrow the case is going to be heard and today you are on the streets. Is it some kind of a pressure being sought to be created?
Tuhin Sinha is the national spokesperson of the BJP. We have Parimal Kumar representing the JDU. Dr. Anshul Avijit is the national spokesperson of the Congress, and Professor Anwar Pasha is the national spokesperson of the RJD. Tuhin Sinha, I'm going to begin with you. Why, this entire exercise, if the people of Bihar are saying that this seems to be a little unreasonable at this point, then why is the BJP defending it? Let the Election Commission do its part. You are also should be speaking on the behalf of the voters of Bihar rather than on the behalf of Election Commission.
Good evening, Maria. Good evening, everybody. In the first 15 days of the SIR exercise, more than 57% forms, enumeration forms have been collected. There are another 16 days left. So I don't know which Biharis are complaining. If you are privy to some Biharis complaining, please play that out.
Stories are coming out. I know people who have traveled now miles to go to Bihar to complete this verification process. So what are you actually saying, Mr. Sinha?
Those concerns are being addressed on an everyday basis. Fact is, the entire premise of opposition politics seems to be what if, but then, this hypothesis needs to end. SIR is a very crucial exercise in determining the genuine voters. Only 2.8% of the total 2.8 crore of the 8 crore voters have to submit fresh forms, and that is because from 2003 onwards, this exercise had not been undertaken. And why is it being undertaken? Because some preliminary anomalies were anyway detected. In the region of Simanchal, there are at least 3 districts, which includes Araria and Katihar, where more number of Aadhaar cards are prevalent than the actual number of people residing in that area. So all of these necessitate a revision. But having said that, why are we
So are you saying that the elections which were held in 2024 Lok Sabha polls in the month of May, all this anomaly was not fixed? And why wasn't it fixed?
No, it's an ongoing process, and SIR was not done. But obviously, the employees at the local level of Election Commission always do the basic checks. But if certain anomalies were detected, which called for a bigger SIR, then what is the harm in it? Why is the opposition assuming that it is their voters which will get cut out from the system?
Dr. Anshul Abhijit, why is there an assumption here that it will be only your voters who will be at the receiving end? Because if you look at it, if it is about the Mahadalits, the Dalits or the minorities, they are also the voters of JDU. And Jitan Ram Manjhi is part of the NDA. Chirag Paswan, who gets the votes of the Dalits, is part of the NDA.
You forget about the voters, Maria, for one single minute. I'm in Patna at the moment. I was a part of those protests that went on. Everyone in Bihar, in fact, this country who cares about the democratic process, this is a fundamental compact between the citizen and the state that they should be mediated through democracy and free and fair elections. Everyone is completely outraged. A couple of months before the election is supposed to take place, you undertake an exercise in 25 days with 8 crore people, which require 1 lakh BLOs. I mean, is this possible? What level of efficiency are we expecting from the Election Commission? And secondly, the Election Commission is always under the shadow of doubt and conspiracy. Why is that? Why is it always controversial since this government has to come to power that the Election Commission makes controversial decisions before on the eve of an election? You rightly said that what happened last year when the elections took place, is that a scam? Is that a fraud that went on with us? Why don't they scrap that election? If the numbers in that election, if the legitimacy of the voters in that election was incorrect, as they claim with this hurriedly done exercise, then why was that election a done deal? Why that should be called off? It's a complete scam, and we are not even talking about the impossible conditions that have been put for the voters to show their citizenship. Bihar is being put on trial. Their loyalty is being tested. Bihar is at the moment on edge, and this is being done because of the elections. They've had a survey done. It's the executive, it's the government, it's the BJP government, it's the NDA. They've had a survey done. They were losing this election, and they had to find various ways of making sure they won. There's no stench of a conspiracy here. There is a conspiracy. And the strange thing about this, Maria, is that in Maharashtra and all, with the voter surge and the remarkable
you have not been able to prove that voter surge in Maharashtra. So let's accept certain things which the opposition is also getting wrong. You have not been able to prove that. Every time Election Commission has asked to submit evidence, you have not done that. You have not done that, Dr. Anshul Abhijit.
No, what do you want us to do? How do you want us to prove it? The numbers are highly suspicious. The Election Commission is in a cloud of suspicion. We know from now on, in the last 10 years, that every department or every institution now works in the behest of this government.
The
proof is all out there.
A quick response, then I bring in others. Go ahead.
Absolutely outside.
Unfortunate.
Yes.
My learned friend Anshul is factually incorrect on 2 counts. Only 2.8 crore voters have to produce these fresh documents, not 8 crore as he mentioned. And last
even
time
that is a huge number.
Last time, the Election Commission, you need to trust the Election Commission. If the Election Commission says it has enough
2 crore voters is a huge number, Tuhin.
No, so last time also it was carried out in 3 weeks. This time with the help of technology. If it doesn't get carried out, my point is
It
why
was not
are you
carried out
jumping
just
the gun?
months ahead of elections when it happened in 2003, Tween. That is the reason why the entire process is being questioned, because it is not appearing to be transparent.
Even for your criticism to be more credible, I think you should wait for the next 16 days and then, point out the failures of the Election Commission. If you're convinced the
there is a
Election
problem
Commission is
here.
failing, why are
We
you
don't
jumping the
trust
gun?
this exercise.
Even
It
if
cannot be
my
done in the
sense is
amount. And by
that
the way,
probably
that 2.3 ER, which is based on 2003, is not correct.
my sense is
There are
probably
5
not a
crore
single.
voters
Please don't
who have
speak
to
in
show.
between, Anshul. There's an important point I'm making. I did not intrude when you were speaking. My sense is that probably
go ahead,
not a
Tween.
single person would be
Go ahead, Tween.
disenfranchised. But having said that, this exercise was important to know the anomalies which have been existing in border areas, in areas which are prone to illegal migration. And, I think nobody should have a problem with knowing the truth.
Parimal Kumar, among the JDU workers are also the minorities, the Mahadalits, the extreme backward castes. Are you not worried about this entire exercise, which could make it very difficult for these, sections of Bihari population to submit the documents first? Second, in a state which is flood prone, particularly the entire belt along the Kosi River, how will people submit these documents when the Aadhaar is not an acceptable form, neither is the ration card, which enables people to benefit from all the subsidies that the government of India provides and government of Bihar provides?
We have no any problem. We support the constitution and constitutional decisions like Election Commission. Actually, Mahagathbandhan is afraid of the increasing popularity of my leader. They are afraid about their defeat in the incoming election. As far as the question of a special intensive survey is concerned, you see they are giving the example of 2003. In 2003, 45,000 BLO were implied and the entire exercise was finished within 31 days. Right? Actually, yet in Bihar, yet the date of election has not been announced. What is the reason to put the question mark before the constitutional decision? You see, to prepare the electoral law and to revise all these are the constitutional responsibility of Election Commission as per Article 326 of the Constitution, 324 of the Constitution, and People's Representation Act 1950, and registration of voters rules particularly 1959 and 60. Actually, there is no any particular problem. Actually, who should be given the right to cast the vote? It is the citizen of India. If Election Commission is certifying the actual voter, what is the problem with them? Actually, RJD and Congress are habitually indulge in maligning such type of constitutional institution when they are put behind bars on the order of the Supreme Court. They start allegations that they were intentionally, particularly aligned with all these. Actually, in Bihar, there is no problem. As far as the question of the total number of voters is concerned, you see, Election Commission already clarified that those persons who were included in 2003 will be intact, and the review and 2.97, I think, around this particular number, actually revision will be conducted. So, if some person died, some person shifted, girls get married and shift from one place to another, then actual voter, their duplication is also the problem in such type of particular cases. Then Election Commission conduct the regular exercise, and three months before, 3 to 4 months before, Election Commission conducted casual revision. And now it is conducted a special intensive revision. It is not extensive one. Okay, if extensive revision would have been conducted, then it required a long time. But intensive, I think intensive revision not require such a long period. And we have already, Election Commission already conducted such type of revision. So actually the entire process, whatever you see, today's strike clarified that Mahagathbandhan has no faith in the judiciary when already the matter is sub judice, and tomorrow on 10th of July, the date has already been fixed for hearing by the Supreme Court.
No. The entire argument seems to be that this exercise is a fair exercise. It's not that
100%
it's no.
100%
Dr. Anshul Avijit, no. The problem here is
100%
Mr. Parimal Kumar, that there is an assumption that those who are not able to submit documents or whose documents may not be with them, they may be having the Aadhaar card or the or other documents, including the ration cards, are from other political parties. Are you sir?
No.
You should be. I am surprised.
Election Commission already clarified. If you are not in the position to submit the document, you simply fill the form, and the matter will be dealt with after. Actually, you know that, but every citizen has the right.
Okay, there is a problem with that audio. I'll try and fix that. Professor Anwar Pasha, come in now.
Actually,
your audio is coming from a distance, sir. There is a problem with that audio. I'll get that fixed. Professor Pasha.
Thank you, Maria Shkilji. First of all, I would like to congratulate the people of Bihar for making this one a grand success. And it shows the mood of the people of the state. That's why the BJP is desperate and the NDA is desperate. BJP as well as the JDU is also very desperate. I was listening to Mr. Tuhin Sinha, and I was wondering, he is the spokesperson of BJP or the spokesperson of Election Commission? And it makes it clear that there is no difference. The Election Commission has become just a cell of BJP, and it's working at the behest of BJP. Everything was going fine. There was a revision in December only. The last December, there was a revision. And one fine morning, without consulting the opposition parties, the Election Commission comes with the idea and announces that let's have a special intensive
constitutional responsibility of the Election Commission.
What is?
For this reason, I don't think that there is any requirement to conduct all party meeting on this issue.
He was patiently looking, waiting for his submission time to come. You should extend that courtesy to Professor Pasha, please.
Let me complete.
Yeah.
One fine morning, all of a sudden, the Election Commission feels that let's have a intensive, intensive revision. What is this? In December, it was carried out. And it was also carried out before the
summary revision, Mr. Pasha.
Before the parliamentary election. What is the need of this intensive, special intensive revision? Why this revision? Why it was not held? If the list was bogus, if the voter list was bogus in Bihar, then why the parliamentary election was carried out? Why it was not taken out? Why the revision was not taken out that time? Why then the bogus? If the list was bogus, this elected government, the central government is bogus. Let the central government and Narendra Modi ji resign first. And then let's have we are not opposed to any revision. Even we are not opposed to intensive revision also. But let the central government resign and let's go for a intensive this revision in the whole country. And then let's have
that's again an exaggeration. Professor Pasha, the case is coming up tomorrow. You have a case, try and build that to say that central government must resign only because there is an exercise of intensive revision happening in Bihar is also an exaggerated position.
No, not exaggerated. We are well aware that there is a I think a plan. There is a plan behind it. It's well planned.
What is the plan?
And they want to deprive the poor people. They want to take away the democratic right of voting from the poor people. Poor people are going to be affected. Our party is a party of poor people.
Okay.
BJP is a party of rich people. So they are happy.
The purpose of universal adult franchise is getting defeated in this entire exercise is becoming increasingly clear. There seems to be some disconnect also. One moment, Tuhin Sinha, let me finish my question. There seems to be also some disconnect between what the sentiments are and what you are saying, because I know, personally know, because I'm also from the same state, where people are traveling from different parts of the country to Bihar, to Patna and other parts to finish this exercise.
Any rectification, any revision carries some hardships. It is the job of Election Commission to ensure that that is absolutely smooth, that is absolutely seamless. But the point is, if there are certain anomalies which have been detected and which for whatever reason have not been rectified so far, will you allow them to go on for the next 10 years? I think any revision should be supported, and like I said, why are we jumping the gun? Wait for the next 15 days. For my sense is that the Election Commission will not disenfranchise anybody, but to know the truth, to be transparent.
The timing of this revision. The Election Commission is why
RJD is particularly rattled because it seems they have been distributing 3 voter IDs, 3 Aadhaar cards among certain people, among certain preferred voters of there. There is no other reason.
All right, Professor Pasha, Dr. Anshul Abhijit and Parimal Kumar, thank you so much for joining us.